Portugal gave the world half the planet, a global language, and custard tarts so good they could end wars. And somehow people still think it's just Spain's quiet neighbor. Nope. Today, you're about to find out why Portugal is low-key one of the most legendary countries on Earth. Number 7 sounds fake, but it's absolutely real. Portugal may look small on the map, but historically, absolute main character energy, explorers, crazy traditions, wild geography, and food that will emotionally change you. Let's go. Starting with number 10, Portugal is one of the oldest countries in Europe, while other places were still figuring out their identities. Portugal's borders have barely changed since the year 1139. That makes it older than Germany, Italy, or even Spain as unified countries. It's like Portugal drew a line in the sand over 900 years ago and just said, "This is our land." And everyone else just went, "Okay, fair enough." But just wait till you hear how this tiny country once controlled a massive empire stretching across South America, Africa, and Asia. That brings us to number 9. Portuguese is a global language. When you think of international languages, you probably think of English, Spanish, or maybe French. But Portuguese is a huge player on the world stage. Around 260 million people speak it. It is the official language of massive countries like Brazil, and it's spoken all over Africa in places like Angola and Mozambique, and even on islands like Cape Verde. It even reached Asia, in places like Macau. So yeah, Portugal is small, but its language went on a world tour. It's like Portugal said, "We're going international," and actually meant it. So, how did this small nation's language get everywhere? That's fact number 8. Portugal pretty much started the age of exploration back in the 1400s and 1500s. Portuguese explorers were the pioneers of the sea. They were the ones who basically said, "What if we just sailed everywhere?" And they did. They were the first Europeans to find a sea route to India around Africa. They claimed Brazil, and they established posts all along the African and Southeast Asian coasts. A guy named Prince Henry the Navigator was the mastermind who turned Portugal into the original travel influencers, sponsoring expeditions that literally redrew the map of the known world, but what they accidentally brought back to Europe changed food forever. And this leads to number 7. The fact I promised sounds completely made up. Portugal helped create tempura. Yes, really. That light, crispy deep-fried goodness you get at Japanese restaurants has its roots in Portugal. In the 1500s, Portuguese missionaries and traders traveled to Japan. They introduced a technique for frying food in batter, especially during religious periods when they couldn't eat meat. Japan saw this and said, "Bet." They refined the technique, perfected it, and now tempura is a world-famous Japanese dish. So, next time you're enjoying some shrimp tempura, you can thank a centuries-old cultural exchange. You're welcome. Now, from one legendary food to another. Number 6. Pastel de nata might just be the best dessert ever created. These little custard tarts are illegal levels of good. They have a flaky, crispy crust filled with a creamy, sweet egg custard, often with a little caramelized top. The origin story is just as great. They were invented by monks in a Lisbon monastery before the 18th century. The monks used egg whites to starch their clothes, which left them with a massive surplus of egg yolks. Instead of wasting them, they did the logical thing. They created an unbelievably delicious dessert. The moral of the story is that laundry can lead to dessert. We have to respect that. Let us move from food to forces of nature with number 5. Portugal has some of the biggest waves on Earth. If you're a big wave surfer, you don't go to Hawaii or California for the ultimate challenge. You go to Nazaré, a small fishing town in Portugal, thanks to a massive underwater canyon just off the coast. Nazaré produces record-breaking monster waves that can tower over 80 to 100 feet high. That's like surfing a 10-story building. Seriously, the videos are terrifying. This isn't just surfing. It's a high-stakes survival mission. Surfers go there like, "I want a little excitement," and the ocean just replies, "Say less." For number 4, let's talk about ancient history. We all know Rome is ancient, right? The Colosseum, the Forum, all that history. Well, hold on a second, because Lisbon is actually older than Rome, by a lot. Archaeological evidence suggests Lisbon was founded around 1200 BC. likely by pre-Celtic tribes. Rome, on the other hand, was founded around 753 BC, so, technically, Lisbon could look over at Rome and say, "Rome, sweetie, I was here first." It's one of Europe's oldest cities, and you can feel that ancient history everywhere you walk. Speaking of Lisbon, let's talk about one of its most iconic features for number 3, those charming yellow trams. They aren't just for tourists to take photos of. They're a real functioning part of the city's public transport system. Some of these trams are over 100 years old and are still climbing Lisbon's incredibly steep, narrow hills like absolute champions every single day. Public transport, but make it vintage. Riding one feels like stepping back in time, rattling through historic neighborhoods and getting some of the best views of the city. Now for number 2, we're back to food, because you can't talk about Portugal without talking about this. Portugal eats a lot of codfish, and when I say a lot, I mean a staggering amount. They're obsessed with it. It's their national dish, known as bacalhau. The crazy part, they say there are over 1,000 different ways to cook bacalhau. Some even say there's a different recipe for every day of the year. There are fewer days in a year than there are Portuguese cod recipes. Fried, baked, grilled, in stews, with potatoes, with cream. You name it, they've done it with cod. And finally, at number 1, a fact that transcends sports and has become a part of modern Portuguese identity. Cristiano Ronaldo is basically a national monument. Born on the Portuguese island of Madeira, he's more than just a football player. He's a national hero. The main airport in Madeira is officially named Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport. There are statues of him. The entire country is emotionally invested in every goal, every match, every move of his left foot. Then, people who have never watched a single football game in their lives know who Ronaldo is. He's become a global symbol of Portuguese excellence and determination. So yeah, Portugal isn't just beaches and nice vacations. It's a country of bold explorers, global influence, insane nature, legendary food, and a history that reads like an epic adventure movie. From changing the world map to changing the menu, its impact is everywhere. You've learned something new today. Hit that like button so the algorithm finally starts respecting geography. Comment below with which fact surprised you the most. And if you've been lucky enough to visit Portugal, tell us your favorite city. And of course, subscribe, because next time we're exposing another country that's secretly overpowered. Thanks for watching.